So let's have a go then. I mean, Leicester City are champions of the FA Cup, their first time winners.
Yeah.
You look at it, obviously 2016 champions of the Premier League. Amazing achievement, in my opinion, for Leicester City. Looking at them, we're going to touch upon the top four in a little while, because obviously it hangs in a balance brilliantly. I mean, tonight, Chelsea, Leicester are going at it again in the Premier League, and what is arguably financially a bigger game for both sides than it was on Saturday, even though a trophy was on the line. So it's really finely balanced. But you look at it, Leicester City, I mean, Tielemans, what a goal, mate. What a player. He oozes class, doesn't he? Oozes class. I love it when you see that ball hits the back of the net and you see it like semi-rotating slowly. It's not spinning like normal. It's just, it was like a check drive. It was beautiful, wasn't it?
And, Tielemans, 40 million from Monaco. Good bit of business, if you ask me. If you look at some of the players, the direct comparison was Chelsea bought Bakayoko from Monaco, and I don't even know where he is these days. And Leicester, you wonder why they're in the top four consistently. Well, look at the bit of business they did there.
Liverpool, 40 million for Fabinho. Another good. Monaco have had some players, haven't they? They've had some players through their ranks.
Well, Mbappe, obviously, another one. But no, I think that it was great to see Leicester win the FA Cup. I think as all football neutrals, I don't think anyone other than Chelsea fans was supporting Chelsea. I think Schmeichel was excellent as well.
What a save.
Some of the saves he was making were ridiculous, to be fair. And it's good to see.
Scenes were great, weren't they, mate?
Yeah.
At the full time, it was really good to see. I mean, you look at what I really liked more than anything was the way that all the players, the manager, and everyone got the owner in. Obviously, the tragedy that goes with that story is obviously horrendous. Obviously, what happened to his dad. But you look at the way that the owner was sat kissing and hugging the players. I mean, Schmeichel and Rodgers, and it's clear from the bottom of the club to the top of the club that everyone at that club is on the same hymn sheet. All the players sort of appreciate what they do for the club. You listen to a lot of things about how during the pandemic they contributed a lot to the hospitals and the community and food banks and stuff without really, they don't really go out. I find a lot of these sort of big clubs want the praise. They do things, basically put it on their social media, and they're trying to basically get, do you know what I mean? It's sort of false.
Clout.
As much as clout, exactly, that's the right word. And I feel like Leicester don't do that. I mean, I remember there's this thing where I think it was the last game of the year, 2 years ago, they gave everyone a free pint, a free drink, and
pizza and
a pint on the last day of the year, or pie and a pint or something. And it's just those kind of little touches that, for me, have led me to just really admire what Leicester City have done.
Yeah.
Winning that title was obviously, it does no disservice, but there's no way at the start of that season they looked at it, gone, we're going for the title. It was a bit of luck, but it was an amazing story, and we all were on board with it. And we all loved it. You
create your own luck in sport. You create your own luck as well.
But they've turned that into a top side, haven't they?
Yeah, but also King Power as a whole. I mean, obviously, you look at some of the Arab states that literally do what King Power do, but they do it for sports washing. Whereas King Power are genuinely they do a lot of good for the community, and they're a big force in horse racing as well, especially on the flat racing. King Power, they're a very big sporting organisation as a whole now, and I was just pleased to see them get that trophy. I also like Gary Lineker. He said his dad. An emotional bit about his dad as well, and that just summed the day up. You forget how much stuff like that means to football fans.
Mate, you're absolutely spot on. And I just want to jump in and say, and to see fans there, mate, when that ball went in from Tielemans, the limbs that were carnage, going on, it was carnage, and the celebrations with the players and the fans. I mean, that's what football's about. We have forgot over the last year. I mean, I don't know. I haven't actually asked you if you've got tickets to the Leeds game, but you look, obviously the Leeds are going to have fans in for the first time since they've been back in the Premier League in 17 years, whatever it's been, and
yours truly did win a ticket in a ballot, but
good lad.
I didn't want to rub it into other fans on Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah.
Some of them people giving it the big one, but I was just like, I've got a ticket. But
awesome, mate.
There was a lot of upset on Twitter, so I didn't want to put it out there because some people have been going for 30 years straight and didn't get a ticket, so I didn't want to be that guy that sort of tweeted out. But
humble and modest.
Yeah, I've got a ticket for 4:00 on Sunday. So
mate, you look forward to that.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming.
It's going to be good, but it's such a great sight to see, isn't it? The fans there. I mean, obviously the Leicester fans they looked so happy. There was people crying in the stadium and stuff. And that is what football's about. Sport in general. I mean, as much as we all like sitting at sofas and watching it, seeing those scenes really did. I was really happy for Leicester. I thought, what an amazing club, and they deserve it more than anyone.
No, yeah, 100%. And like even last night watching the playoffs, Barnsley, Swansea, and Bournemouth. Brentford having fans back again. Even the 2,000 fans at Bournemouth, you forget how much better football is with fans.
Does have that extra bit.
It just makes it much better. But also there's two big tragedies for me in football without fans, and I'm not being biased, but Dallas last minute winner against Man City at the Etihad, when we're down to 10 men on the 92nd minute, that would have been the away end. The scenes in that away end would have just been unreal. And then you know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Absolutely. Sunday afternoon.
Alisson, a goalkeeper scoring in the 94th minute to keep your season alive. If that doesn't scream a tragedy, there was no fans in the ground. Imagine being there and watching your keeper put one in the top corner in the 95th minute.
I had United mates texting me being like, even they were like, that is outrageous. I mean, it's just football, mate. It's why we love the game. I mean, we also have our teams and we all have who we support, but there's nothing better in football than a goalkeeper scoring. But it's the first time a goalkeeper scored a header in the Premier League, and it's also the first time anyone scored a winner in English football, top flight football, from a goalkeeper, because you got to think most of the time they're coming when they're 1-0 down or whatever. They're not coming up on the draw, and the finish is outrageous.
It's a joke. Like, it's actually a joke. Like, what a finish that was. Like, I'm so pleased for him as well, because he's been he's been mint for Liverpool. Like, he's obviously not been an underrated signing, because like he obviously won the Champions League, won the league with him and stuff. But like to have a personal tragedy happen at the other side of the world, where you can't even, you know what I mean, like I can't even imagine like what he feels.
Yeah, proper horrific tragedy as well.
Like awful, like one of the worst things you've heard in football, really. And then to score, and like it's mad, because I think you're now going to squeak at least European football now.
Well, we'll move on then to top four. I mean, I think we're on, mate. I think it's on. I'm looking at this evening. I mean, I'm sure you love your stats and you love your table. Liverpool. It's in Liverpool's hands essentially. The game tonight between Chelsea and Leicester is a massive game. But you look, Liverpool are on 63 points, Leicester on 64, and Leicester on 66, and Chelsea on 64. But obviously, at least 2 points each are getting dropped tonight, or 3 points from whichever side loses. So, if Leicester draw or lose tonight, Liverpool it's in their hands to overtake them. If Chelsea win, it's in Liverpool's hands to overtake Leicester, who've also got Spurs last game of the year on goal difference. So, I just think it's it really is finely poised. It's in the balance, and there's no doubt in my mind that Liverpool, it'd be a tragedy. Not tragedy, it's the wrong word, but it'd be a travesty if they didn't get top four after a goal like that. Do you know what I mean? You look back and you think that moment, that goal could end up financially for the club. That goal could be just so important. And obviously,
the level of player you can attract with European football, that's the main thing for Liverpool. I don't think it's the money element. I think, if you want to rebuild properly in the summer, you're shopping in a different market if you've not got European football. As Arsenal are going to find out the hard way. Arsenal are going to find that the hard way. They're either going to have to bankrupt the club again to get the players to come, or they're going to have to wait a year. But you look at for me, I just can't understand how Manchester United didn't get more up for the game, where they could potentially put Liverpool back 2-3 years. If they'd have won that, you're not getting European football. I can't understand how they didn't put up more of a fight, really.
I thought we turned up, but I thought we were brilliant against Man United. And fairness, our record against the big sides this year, other than City, really, has been pretty impressive. I mean, it's been the likes of the West Broms and the Burnleys I mean, Newcastle's taken 4 points off us, all this sort of thing. There's been those kind of games, but we really did turn up against United. Obviously, Trent was phenomenal. I mean, Thiago's become brilliant in the last few weeks. I mean, he was excellent on Sunday as well.
Yeah, he
looks so much better that's the position he got bought for, and get with Fabinho as a 2 in midfield. Obviously, we're lacking in centre backs. I mean, we all know that it's been done to a death. But yeah, you're not wrong. United were poor. They looked sort of after going against Leicester and giving them the game, going, here you go, have 3 points, we'll play the kids.
Yeah.
You did think they'd come up against Liverpool and show a bit of fight, but they didn't. Right then, your top 4 picks, obviously, right, we've got Chelsea versus Leicester this evening, Burnley versus Liverpool tomorrow, Leicester Spurs, Villa Chelsea, and Liverpool Palace, the last 5 games of the season. Those are the 3 sides that only 2 can get Champions League football. Where you go in with your money. I mean, obviously, if Chelsea end up without an FA Cup, without a Champions League, and without Champions League football, I mean, they may as well have kept Frank.
Yeah. Well, I think, obviously, Leicester, I think they're going to get top 4 based on the momentum of winning a cup and their running. I think it's more in their hands than anyone else. And then I still think Chelsea will get top 4 as well. Believe it or not, I think Chelsea are pretty strong.
Have you not? So where are we dropping points then? We're going away to Burnley that you've just demolished 4-0, and we've got Palace at home who we beat 7-1 earlier in the year.
Well, you've got short memories. You don't play particularly well against Burnley, and you don't play particularly well against Palace, especially when there's something on the line.
They are true. They are. Both of those statements are true. Palace, yeah, on the line. I mean, we all remember the 3-3. But do you not think the momentum's with Liverpool? A goal, like you said, momentum with Leicester. I mean, Alisson, your keeper, wins a last-minute header. Mo Salah's on fire, mate. Looked exceptional. I mean, yeah, we've lost Jota. Henderson isn't coming back. Kabak's out. It's actually laughable how many injuries there are. I mean, I know we have done it, but I think with there's 13 players missing from the squad. Do you not think, though, they're just going to get across the line? I think we will. I really do. I think that now is the time. We win 2 games. We go into the top 4. I think we end up finishing.
So your goal difference is same as Leicester as well.
Yeah, but if Leicester lose to Chelsea, then their goal difference obviously comes down. Ours goes up by at least 1 because we've got to win both games. So we finish on 69. Our minimum goal difference can be 23. Yeah. And if they lose to Chelsea tonight, they go down to 20. So they've got to win by 4 goals.
A draw's a bad result for you boys.
When?
Tonight.
A draw's a good result. If they draw, we go ahead of Chelsea with a win. It's in our hands, mate. It's in our hands. I mean, obviously, you've not done the research, so we'll ignore it.
Well, I mean, it's not really been at the forefront of my mind, to be honest.
No.
I thought Liverpool were well out of it. I'm more bothered about the game at 6 o'clock tonight, to be honest, mate.
6 o'clock? And who is it?
It's Southampton versus Leeds.
Yeah,
game.
You're playing well, but you're playing for nothing. You're playing for nothing.
Not really. If we win tonight, we guarantee top 10 finish, first season back, and the financial implications for that are astronomical for a club like Leeds that have been in the doldrums for years. To finish top 10 your first season back, you snap your hand off for that, and it's £2 million per place above 20. So yeah, it's another transfer basically, if you want to look at it like that.
Well, what, so for 2 million?
Playing for nothing. No, £2 million per place. So
well, yeah. So one place is £2 million, mate. Are you signing for 2 million? I don't think they'd sign you for 2 mil.
No, but it's the prize money. So the prize money this year is up because the European TV, the international TV rights is higher. So everyone's guaranteed something like 100 million, and then the higher you finish, the more money you get. So it's worth a lot of money to the club. I think it's worth somewhere in the region of 18 million.
Okay, well,
what you would. So
yeah, absolutely.
Free transfer, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's Rodrigo. No, it wasn't Rodrigo. He was a bit more money. Rafinha was about 18, 19.
And talk to me about Rodrigo as well. He's finally come out of his injury troubles, and he's got 5 goals now for the season, only playing 12 games. And he looked every bit of the Spanish number 9 on Saturday against Burnley.
You made out you'd signed some sort of Spanish legend when he first came over, and he's not lived up to that hype. I mean, he's
been injured.
He's been injured. Well, he's not done anything. You said he's played 12 games. Before then, he played 11 and got 3 goals. I mean, hardly meet you at Swansea.
By my words, he'll score more than Bamford next season.
You reckon?
Yeah. And the defence, Llorente, our other Spanish international, what a revelation he's been.
Yeah, it looks decent, to be fair. I mean, Stuart Dallas, player of the season, in my opinion, for you lot. But
yeah,
Rafinha,
he's winning that.
Rafinha is Rafinha's just class. But Stuart Dallas, the level that he's shown. To be fair, I would have said he's championship at best, mate. But fair play to the lad. I mean, it's just Patrick Bamford as well. One thing I've liked about Patrick Bamford recently is he's doing a lot of media. He's done obviously the Peter Crouch pod. He's now sort of doing quite a bit on that.
He's on Redknapp
the other day. Yeah, he's sort of getting his name and face out there, and he seems like a lovely lad. And I really liked how he said. I mean, I've given a lot of flack before, called him a wet bag and stuff, but I really liked how he said he's overachieved his own expectations. He was like, he sort of basically put himself down and how he did believe he was Premier League standard, but he didn't realise he'd do so well. And he kind of like, at least he's seems an honest fella, and he works hard, and Bielsa obviously loves him. And Bielsa's the most important transfer player, manager, coach, whatever sort of asset of your club. I think you look at him, what a job he's done. Is he staying? Rumours are he's doing a 2-3 year deal, and his missus is coming over.
I have sources in high places I can't reveal, but for all Leeds fans listening, expect another 2 years of Bielsa on 1 year rolling deals. So he doesn't sign more than 1 year. So, but I've had it from a pretty good source that he will be signing next season, which is hardly groundbreaking because it's
looking for houses as well, isn't he?
Yeah, apparently he's moving to Harrogate.
Yeah, we've all heard the rumours. I think it's they're flying out. Nice. Looks like he's moving in. He's leaving the 2-bed up and down the up and down room he's got, or whatever, in Wetherby.
I saw him twice in 2 weeks in Wetherby when I was driving through.
Mate, he's on like £12 million a year, and he's in like a bedsit.
Mate, well, the second time he was getting in his car. But he doesn't drive, so his translator from the TV was driving, and Bielsa was the only one not wearing a mask, which I thought was quite funny. So everyone in his car was wearing a mask but him.
He doesn't need to.
But no, the other team I want to give a shout out to again is West Ham, because I think that they've had 2 bad results, but again, they've been brilliant this season. I think.
But have they?
What do you mean, have they?
But have they?
Well, of course they have.
You seen their wage bill?
Yeah.
They're in there. They're in there. But West Ham's a myth, mate. West Ham and Everton, they're 7th and 8th. They are the 7th and 8th. They are the 7th and 8th biggest wage bills. You look at Leicester, they've got the 9th biggest wage bill in the Premier League. The 9th biggest wage bill. And they're sat in 3rd place, and everyone's going on about West Ham. I mean, West Ham, the amount of money that they spend, the amount of wages they've got. I mean, yeah, Jesse Lingard came in, good bit of business, helped them out.
I think Souček, Kufal, great bit of business.
Great bit of business.
Forgetting that Declan Rice has been injured for a large portion of this season as well.
Really? Really that large?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty important. He literally plays like Phillips does for Leeds. If Phillips doesn't
he's
play,
a little bit better than Phillips.
Well, we'll see in the Euros. We'll see who Gareth thinks is going to start.
Well, Rice is starting.
We'll see. And poor old Jordan Henderson, he ain't going to be playing, is he? Let's be honest, he ain't getting in a game now. The form of Phillips, I think.
I mean, if fit Jordan Henderson plays in the Euro squad, mate, there's no doubt in anyone's mind. Exactly. He doesn't look like he's going to be.
I think you look at the form there. And West Ham done a pretty stellar job on 59 points.
They've only got 6 points more than you lot, and the thing about Leeds, I've got to commend. I think they've got the 9th biggest wage bill and like the 17th biggest transfer sort of squad value.
No, other way around.
Okay, it's 17th and 19th.
17th biggest like highest wage bill. So we're on par with Sheffield United, and I think
19th most valuable squad.
But we've spent 100 million. But
I'm not criticizing. I'm not criticizing, mate. 100 million is not.
Well, when you win the championship, you get 105 million. So it makes sense.
I'm not. It's not even much money. But you look at I think you have to value the sort of the cost of the squad and lay it off against the achievement. I mean, Manchester City. Liverpool are a great squad, a great side, but Manchester City, with the amount of money and investment and everything that they've put in and the squad depth they've got, should be winning the league. If they don't win the league, it's a failure. Liverpool want to also be challenging for the league now, and obviously first and second, don't get me wrong, not finishing in the top four is a failure. And Manchester United want to be going for the title. But after that, I mean, Leicester City to be top four is a massive overachievement. The likes of Arsenal finishing ninth. I mean, Arsenal right now are 2 points ahead of Leeds United. Arsenal's squad, mate, is worth more than Liverpool's. It's more valuable, and their wage bill's higher than Liverpool. And you look at it, you go through it, and you go, "Where's the money here? Like, where is the quality? There is no
Arsenal
quality."
Arsenal have been poorly run for many seasons, and it's not a great surprise that they find themselves in a position where they're ninth. And I think it's a long road back for Arsenal, especially with no European football. Losing to Villarreal was just the
Unai Emery.
But brilliant, fair play to Unai Emery. They did a job on him, and we can't talk about football with your mate Malik, who seriously put the mockers on Spurs. Harry Kane's put his transfer request in. He's off. He's had a chat with Levy, and for the right price, Harry Kane will be no longer playing in the new Spurs stadium, or the London Stadium, or whatever they want to call it.
I don't see where he goes. I don't see where he
goes.
The only club I see him going
Manchester
to,
City is where he's going.
I don't see it. I fully don't.
You don't see it, but you will see it.
Oh, will I?
Yeah, Aguero is no longer fit. Jesus.
Why would you sign Kane over Haaland?
Because Haaland's not going, like, it's between Haaland and Kane, right? You've got a proven English goal scorer who obviously any club in the Premier League wants to sign him. You've got Manchester United, Manchester City, or Chelsea are the three clubs, right? Chelsea have signed Werner, Havertz. Money's not an issue for Chelsea, but they're going to have to shift Werner they're going to get rid of Abraham as well. Can't see him going to Chelsea. Manchester United have just signed Cavani again for another season.
Yeah, he's not going to United. There's no way.
So that leaves one team and one team only.
It doesn't. It leaves Real Madrid.
They got no money. Real Madrid are in the mire.
They'll find some cash.
There's talk of Allegri going to Real Madrid. Zidane, apparently they're getting bored of him. So and then Barcelona are signing Memphis Depay on a free.
And Aguero. No, I don't even think he leaves. I just don't see how Tottenham Hotspur get 130 million. I reckon 120, 130 million is the minimum that
we're also forgetting that Tottenham Hotspur have had to defer on a government loan again for another year for their stadium. So
if Kane goes,
they'll be under pressure from creditors because they've got an asset there.
But if Kane goes, mate, that's Spurs done. Like, that is Spurs done. They are back to Everton. They have a terror squad. They've got a terrible manager. Well, they don't have a manager, but they've got a terrible manager at the moment.
I mean, Ryan Mason is not going to be, what you're telling me that they consider themselves a Super League club and they have a 29-year-old in Ryan Mason in charge. Like, what the hell? I think that if Spurs had any sense, they'd get a proven manager in the Premier League. I'd say someone like a Dean Smith. I think he would do a good job at Spurs. I know obviously it's not a fancy name, but I think Dean Smith's done an all right job. You look at West Ham, they went back to David Moyes. He's done a good job.
They've achieved nothing.
I think Ancelotti,
Rafa Benitez.
Everton have gone for Ancelotti, the glamour name. They spent a load of money again and done absolutely the same thing, finishing 8th or 9th.
Similar wage bill to West Ham, though. But anyway, Rafa Benitez, Tottenham Hotspur makes the most amount of sense to me. I think Frank Lampard's off to Crystal Palace. I think we'll have to wait and see. I mean, but yeah, mate, Harry Kane, I actually just can't see anyone stumping up the cash. I don't think that's City's model. I think if they're going to break the bank, they sign Mbappe or they sign Haaland. I think you look at a kid who's going to have resale value. Not that they will be selling him, but you want a 10-year stint. Harry Kane gives you 4 or 5 years of absolute guaranteed goals. Don't get me wrong. If Harry Kane went to Man City or Mbappe or Haaland go to Man City, I'm probably right, I'm just probably just sort of cashing in the check of Man City winning the league again. There's no real question. Mate, Harry Kane would do a silly job at Liverpool. I mean, he can play the role, bringing in goals, and obviously you think about how many chances we create.
He plays more like a deep line midfielder at times. Whenever I watch Spurs now, imagine him picking him over the top to Salah.
If FSG went out and made a marquee signing this year, be it a Harry Kane, be it an Mbappe or a Haaland. Not so much. Everyone's talking about Sancho now, and I don't really want him. As in,
I think Sancho's form to the end of this season has been much better.
Yeah, it has.
I've been watching Dortmund a bit. I watched them in the
Cup final.
I watched it on Bet365 because it wasn't on BT, and they looked. I mean, the link up between Haaland and Sancho and. The football Dortmund play, considering they don't have a proper manager, they've gone through a rough patch. But I think it's definitely a buyer's market, this transfer window, because you look at the mess that we're forgetting France are in a right old mess because they sold their TV rights to some company that had no real model, and it collapsed. So you're forgetting there's going to be bargains in France. Spain are done. I think Spain are in a bad way because it just says it all. Aguero and Depay are signing on frees to Barcelona. I mean, they're hardly groundbreaking signings. I think that Barcelona, the last big money they paid was for Ousmane Dembele, 105 million at Dortmund. I mean, what? Dembele's a good player, but he's not worth 105 million. So,
truly terribly ran club.
Yeah, they all are. They just run on debt, and I think that we forget that why this we didn't have a pod for the Super League, but for me, the Super League was just a way to basically what it looked like from my point of view. And I read all it is right. Well, we're in loads of debt, so what we'll do is we'll get another load of £2 billion, and I tell you what, we'll do the same bloody thing again for the next 10 years, sign a load of players and spend it all on players. And then what are you going to happen in 10 years' time? You're going to have another load of debt. They're in denial. Like, I think La Liga are in big trouble now because the Premier League is such a force financially for TV rights, everything. They had to sell their soul to the Asian TV rights. They need the money because there's no interest. If you ask anyone in Asia, name me another team in La Liga other than Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Atletico Madrid, they'll be like, who?
Yeah,
they couldn't name another team,
and that's
the problem.
That's why the gulf in the financials in Spain is so big, and it ruins the league. You look at it, it's boring. I mean, whereas at least with those, everyone's around.
But they're weighted in that favour because they are the draw as well. I think there's an argument to say that the one thing that the Premier League does well is, breaking off from the EFL. They did a very good job in securing the long-term future of English football.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but I also do sort of value the argument of the likes of Liverpool and Man United. They are the attractions. They're the ones who bring the money in, and obviously giving out sort of a couple of £1 million less to other clubs, to clubs that aren't getting as much viewing ordership and sort of aren't bringing the money in. I do understand it, but I think we've.
But your argument, I mean, just to finish on that point, Leeds' first season back, we were on television. Obviously, every team's on TV. But they basically had these things called traditional slots. So Manchester United got 28 traditional kickoff times. Therefore, they got an extra £1 million per game. And Liverpool, I think, were like 25. And then I think it's Leeds and Aston Villa got 24. So, and I think Leicester, Leeds and Aston Villa got 24 traditional slots each. So that just shows that there is. That's again. So each of them clubs got another £1 million per. I think the first 10 you don't get anything, and anything after 10 you get £1 million per slot. So again, that to me seems a fair enough system.
I mean, I don't know too much about that side of things. So, but as long as
you don't need to, because Liverpool are in a lot of debt, so it doesn't really matter how much money you got. No money, mate.
What are you on about? You just talk drivel, mate. I think we're the best run club in the country financially.
That's why you want to join the Super League, was it?
Well, anyone wants to join the Super League if it's cash. I mean, all the owners, they're all from the same boat, mate. They're all capitalists and billionaires, mate. They're all gonna jump at the chance for more money. But no, best run club is Liverpool, then Leicester. So moving on. Hopefully we get top 4. Jesus, Leeds